Savannah is one of the most beautiful places you could retire in the entire South. It's also one of the easiest places to get wrong if you don't know what to look for. There's only one true 55+ community in the entire area. The summers regularly push into the triple digits on the heat index, and a lot of newer homes don't offer single-story living.
This is a point of view video that most agents won't share with you, but we will. So let's dive into what you have to know.
First up is healthcare options. Savannah has solid everyday healthcare. This city is anchored by two strong systems, Memorial Health University Medical Center and St. Joseph's Candler. Between them, you've got access to emergency care, robotic surgery, comprehensive stroke care, oncology, cardiology, and a wide range of specialty services. For most day-to-day health needs, you're well covered.
We're starting here on purpose because this is what comes up every single time we talk with clients who are over 50 years old, and they really deserve a true answer. This is also a passion of ours, being former nurses. Highly specialized care is a different conversation in Savannah. It's home to many talented and skilled providers. If you're dealing with a rare condition though, looking for a cutting edge clinical trial, or need highly specialized treatment, Savannah isn't a major medical hub for that.
For some retirees, that becomes a real planning consideration. Not a deal breaker, just something you want to understand before you commit. Later, we'll talk about the active adult lifestyle. We'll show how Savannah compares to other retirement markets, so you have an idea on that as well. That changes how people see this move, so stay with us.
Medical care in the surrounding region is strong. The Medical University of South Carolina in Charleston is about 2 hours north, and the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville is about 2 hours south. Plus, Atlanta's major healthcare systems are just 4 hours away. Exceptional specialty care is within driving distance. It's just not right in your backyard.
For military retirees, there's another layer worth knowing. The VA outpatient clinic in Savannah handles routine needs, but there isn't a VA hospital in the area. The Savannah VA clinic is part of the Charleston VA system, which means that you may occasionally be referred to Charleston for major surgeries or advanced imaging. If VA healthcare is central to your plan, that is worth factoring in early.
Pro tip, one of the most meaningful shifts happening in Savannah right now is in the growth of direct primary care and concierge medicine practices all across the city. These are membership-based models with longer appointments, more personalized care, shorter wait times, and direct access to your doctor. We're seeing a lot of retirees lean in this direction because it feels more personal, with options that are expanding constantly. Healthcare here is evolving. It's just something to understand, so nothing surprises you after you relocate.
When you understand healthcare here, you can plan around it with confidence instead of discovering gaps later. That same mindset carries straight into the next part of the list, because the home search in Savannah has its own set of realities most buyers don't see coming. Before we move on, if Savannah makes sense for your next chapter, we help retirees plan this move every single day, and we can walk you through what fits you here in coastal Georgia. You'll find our contact information in the description below.
Let's keep going. Single-story floor plans in our market are not as common as other areas. Once you walk through some of the newer neighborhoods in Pooler or Richmond Hill, you'll notice this pretty quickly. Most of the homes will have a second story. The homes are beautiful, they're well built, and the amenities are amazing. That streetscape tells you something important before you even click on a listing, especially if stairs are a long-term concern.
Many fast-growing suburban areas are packed with new construction, and many of these homes are two-story designs. Builders in these subdivisions tend to build up instead of out, which naturally limits the number of single-story options. The homes that do exist on one level are usually older, part of more established neighborhoods that don't turn over as often.
Stay with me, because when we get to the 55+ community, we'll talk about plenty of floor plan options for a variety of preferences and needs. If you're considering other locations like Florida or Arizona, this information will be particularly helpful for you. Location starts to matter a lot here. If you're open open to the islands like Wilmington Island or Skidaway Island, you will find a much higher concentration of ranch style and single level homes in more established communities. The trade-off usually comes down to price point and overall lifestyle appeal, but the inventory is there if that is your main priority.
If a single story home is a non-negotiable for you, the search is going to take a little bit more patience and flexibility than in markets where that style is everywhere. It's absolutely findable. You just may not see it very much in the first set of listings that you see. Having that expectation makes a big difference, and it keeps your search focused instead of frustrating.
That's exactly right. We need to know that going in up front. If you've already been scrolling through listings online, that's a sign that you should call us. People often say, we thought it might be too early, but we promise it's not. Preparing for a move like this is an extended process that we are very familiar with. Grab our team's contact information in the description below and reach out today.
We've helped tons of retirees. Every single agent at the Wellspring Group has it down pat. Let's jump back in. Now we're going to talk about the weather. If you ask anyone who's spent an October in Savannah, you'll hear the same thing. It might be some of the best weather you've ever experienced. It's mild, bright, and comfortable in a way that makes you want to be outside every single day.
Every single day. The winters here are mild, spring starts pretty early, and fall is gentle and refreshing. And bonus, there's not a single month of the year where the average temperature drops below 50 degrees. On the other hand, summer is its own experience. From June through September, the heat and humidity hit in a way that's hard to really comprehend until you're actually living it. We like to say that it makes our skin glow when you step outside, and it feels like you're getting a hug from the sun. But not everybody loves that.
The air feels heavy. Afternoons regularly climb past 100 degrees on the heat index, and for retirees especially, this goes beyond comfort. It becomes a real lifestyle and health consideration. Heat is a known concern for older adults, especially if you're managing cardiovascular or respiratory conditions. The humidity can also aggravate certain autoimmune disorders, so that's important to know.
Living through a Savannah summer means adjusting your routine. Your outdoor time will shift to early mornings or later in the evenings. Air conditioning is not optional, it's essential. The pace of the day here naturally tends to slow down. Some people end up loving that rhythm. It turns into a seasonal routine that feels very intentional. Others, especially if you can't tolerate heat well, do find it a bit limiting.
If the summer where you live now already feels long, that's a conversation worth having with yourself before you make the move. For most of the year, the weather here is exceptional. The real question is whether the summer works for you too.
Another question to ask yourself is, what kind of city do I actually want to live in? Savannah is unique. I think we've said that about 100 times. It's a bigger town without that big city feel, and knowing that up front really matters.
So for our fourth section, we're gonna jump into the big town without a big city feel. There's a moment that happens to almost everyone who moves here from a larger metro. You're at the grocery store several weeks in and you run into your neighbor. Then you see someone else from your street and someone you met at an event the week before, all in the same trip. In a city of nearly 150,000 people, that still happens all the time.
It's a meaningful sized city, but it carries the feel of a small town. And that's one of the things that people fall in love with. I know that we did as a family. It's historic, it's community oriented, and it's full of character that you can feel right away. People here know each other, and that's not just a tagline.
Keep this in mind. When we get to the active adult living, you'll see how recreation and social life here are different from a typical retirement market. So stay tuned.
At the same time, if you're coming from a larger city, there are a few adjustments that you do need to be aware of. Savannah is growing quickly, but it hasn't fully built out the big city infrastructure across the board just yet. The retail and dining scene here is strong, especially in the historic district and along the suburban corridors, but the level of variety that you'd expect from a larger city isn't quite there.
When it comes to walkability, the Savannah Historic District is one of the most walkable areas in the entire South. And if you live here, it's very possible to handle day-to-day life without a car. Midtown, Southside, the islands, and most suburban areas are a different story. Those parts of town are much more car dependent. Chatham Area Transit does provide bus service, but it's not comprehensive enough to replace having your own vehicle for most people outside of Savannah's core. If a car-free retirement is part of your plan, where you choose to live becomes a very big decision.
For people who love being part of a community and feeling connected to where they live, that small town energy is one of the best parts of Savannah. For others who prefer a bit more anonymity, it's worth thinking through ahead of time. Figuring out where you fit in is our team's specialty. Be sure to check out our video highlighting the best communities for retirees in Savannah, Georgia.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the only 55 plus community in the entire area. While other markets give you lots of options to choose from with different prices and lifestyles, Savannah isn't there yet. There's one dedicated community for 55 plus in the greater Savannah area. That is Del Webb Savannah at Heartwood, which is located in Richmond Hill.
This neighborhood is brand new, and as of 2026, the amenities are still under construction. The plans are incredible, and the investment opportunity here is strong. There's resort-style pools, pickleball courts, walking trails, and a full-time lifestyle director to keep things active every single week.
And that list is just a small part of the amenity package.
That's right. If that structured adult living environment is what you're looking for, this is your clear fit.
And your only option.
That's true. Which means most retirees moving here end up in the traditional age-integrated neighborhoods. You'll have young families next door, shared amenities with people of all stages of life, and multi-generational energy throughout the entire community. For a lot of people, that's part of the appeal. It feels vibrant and lived in and genuinely connected.
But that might not be for you. We often hear from retirees who want something quieter, a slower pace, a pool that stays calm on a Saturday afternoon and doesn't get you wet jumping cannonballs into the deep end. Evenings that wind down earlier. The answer we give our clients is simple every single time. Your priority is Del Webb. That is where you want to be.
The community you choose is a quality of life decision that shapes more than just where you want to live. It defines the kind of retirement lifestyle that you're building here, which brings us straight into the last thing that you need to think through. Active adult lifestyle is not as developed in the Savannah area as in other markets. If you show up to one of Savannah's public pickleball courts on a Wednesday evening, you're going to understand this in about 30 seconds. You're probably going to wait. Not because the sport's not popular here. In fact, it's very popular. The infrastructure simply has not quite caught up to the interest level yet.
That's the active adult scene in Savannah right now. There is so much energy around it. The interest is real and people are showing up. It's the facilities and organized programming that are still building toward what more established retirement markets have had for years.
Savannah Pickleball Academy opened just about a year ago as the city's very first dedicated indoor air-conditioned facility, which makes a big difference during a coastal Georgia summer. And because the sport is growing so quickly, it's one of the easiest ways to meet people after you move here. There's a real community forming around it, and getting involved means establishing roots in your new town and making it feel more like home.
Beyond pickleball, structured adult recreation is a bit more limited. You'll find some great options like bowling leagues, YMCA programs, and activities at local community centers. And if you're also interested in exercising your brain, you should check out Georgia Southern University's Lifelong Learning Program, which offers classes to adults 62 and over, tuition free.
Another favorite organization that retirees enjoy is the Savannah Garden Club, which was established in 1927. Their mission is to assist in the beautification and environmental preservation of Savannah, and it's actually Georgia's oldest active garden club.
Here's the bottom line. Finding your routine and like-minded people takes a lot of effort when you relocate. It's an important part of the research process, and we want you to be sure you'll have the active lifestyle you've been planning for when you make your move.
The truth is, retirees who thrive are the ones who showed up here knowing what they were choosing. These 6 topics that we walk through today are the filter that help you decide if Savannah is your city.
If you're ready to figure out where you fit in this market, the right neighborhood, the right home, the right kind of community for your next chapter, reach out to us at meettwg@gmail.com and we'll map it out with you. We are glad to help you out.
If you're thinking Savannah might be the one, the next step is seeing the full picture. Not just the trade-offs, but what day-to-day life feels like. That video is linked right here.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in Savannah.